Penalties for the fouls of roughing the passer and hits on defenseless receivers will be enforced according to Louisiana interpretation and application. Let's talk about roughing the passer. The rulebook states the penalty for roughing the passer is enforced from the dead ball spot when that spot is beyond the neutral zone, team A is in possession, and there has been no change of team possession. That wording, however, does not take into account last year's forward fumble out of bounds rule. So, as we did last year, we will penalize roughing the passer from the end of the last run. Effectively, this is a tack-on penalty when the end of the last run is beyond the neutral zone, team A has the ball, and there has not been a change of team possession. In all other situations, the penalty is enforced from the previous spot. Remember that National Federation considers all touchbacks a change of team possession. The second Louisiana penalty interpretation and application is for illegal hits on a defenseless receiver. Before we discuss the penalty, let's go over the rule. No player shall initiate forceful contact against a defenseless receiver unless the contact is incidental contact, initiated with open hands, or an attempt for a wrap-up type tackle. All other forceful contact against a defenseless receiver is a foul. The rule is meant to protect a receiver in the act of catching. It does not protect a player who is clearly and obviously a runner, who has clearly and obviously completed the catch and the entire catch process. That doesn't mean a runner can be illegally fouled, but other rules protect runners. This rule protects receivers who are in the act of catching a pass. So who is a defenseless receiver? A defenseless receiver includes a receiver attempting to catch a pass, and the intended receiver of a pass immediately following an interception or potential interception. A defenseless receiver remains a defenseless receiver throughout the entire catch process. That means the receiver remains a receiver from until he controls the pass, touches in bounds while controlling the pass, and then maintains control either long enough to make a football move common to the game, make some second act with the ball demonstrating his continued control, such as stretching the ball forward near the goal line, or if he's an airborne receiver going to the ground, he survives the ground by maintaining firm control after hitting the ground. He will remain a receiver until he clearly and obviously becomes a runner. Timing matters in that decision. If it seems too quick to be a catch, it's not a catch. So what is a guideline you can use to help determine whether a player is a defenseless receiver or if he's already become a runner? Think about what your ruling would be if, after the player is hit, he loses control of the ball and the ball hits the ground. If your ruling would be incomplete, the player is a receiver. If your ruling would be fumble, the player is a runner. If there is any doubt, treat the player as a receiver. This provides maximum protection for the receiver, and it guards against cheap turnovers. Now that we've reviewed the rule, let's talk about the penalty for the foul and why we are providing a Louisiana interpretation. The foul for a hit on a defenseless receiver occurs during a pass, which is part of a loose ball play. Normally, that means the penalty is enforced from the previous spot. So if the runner completes the pass, the loose ball play has ended and a new running play begins. However, the penalty for a foul that occurred during a loose ball play cannot usually be enforced on the subsequent running play. A question arose about how to enforce this penalty when the pass is completed. The rulebook is not clear on this, and this lack of clarity has led to state and national inconsistency in penalizing this foul. To provide consistency and promote maximum protection for defenseless receivers, Louisiana will penalize this penalty as follows. Enforce the penalty for a hit on a defenseless receiver the same way we would penalize roughing the passer. This will result in a tack-on penalty from the end of the last run when it is beyond the neutral zone, Team A has the ball, and there has been no change of team possession. The only difference is that the penalty for hitting a defenseless receiver will not include an automatic first down. The enforcement will likely result in a first down, but the first down is not automatically awarded. The purpose of this interpretation is to disincentivize illegal hits on longer pass plays and promote protection of the receiver. This interpretation is consistent with Federation's new case play 9.43, situation Y, but it goes beyond the case play's example. Remember, this penalty may be enforced for all illegal contact fouls against a defenseless receiver who is attempting to catch a pass, and this would include targeting a defenseless receiver. Let's take a look at two plays to show how this penalty application works. For the first play of this two-play vignette, it's 3rd and 27, and the offense is snapping from its 19-yard line. The quarterback passes the ball. As the receiver attempts to catch the ball, the defense delivers a hard shoulder-led hit that causes the receiver to drop the ball for an incomplete pass. The hit is timely, so it's not pass interference, but the hit is forceful, it's not incidental contact, it's not initiated with open hands, and it's not a wrap-up tackle, so this is a foul for a hit on a defenseless player. Because the pass is incomplete, the penalty is enforced from the previous spot, and the offense will play 3rd and 12 from the 34-yard line. Our second play shows how our new interpretation will work. It's 2nd down and 5 to go from the 25-yard line. The quarterback throws a pass to the receiver, who takes a hard shoulder-led hit from the defender. The receiver goes to the ground, but maintains control of the ball and completes the catch at the 46-yard line. The penalty in this case will be enforced from the end of the last run, which is the 46. After enforcement, the offense will have a new series at the B39-yard line.